Look closely at the surface. What you see is not merely a cut of beef. It is a biological masterpiece, a complex, sprawling network of intramuscular fat so delicate it resembles a lace of white gold, or a topographical map of a distant frozen star. In Japan, we call it the edible diamond. But this diamond was not formed in a day. It is the result of a 1,000-year taboo, a century of obsession, and a relentless pursuit of perfection that borders on the spiritual. It is a story of how a sacred beast of burden was transformed into the world's most coveted culinary treasure. Today, we archive the evolution of A5 Wagyu, a miracle born from the intersection of Japanese history and modern genetics. For over 1,000 years, the scent of roasting meat was silent in Japan. Under the influence of Buddhist teachings, the consumption of four-legged animals was strictly forbidden. During this long isolation, the native cattle, the ancestors of today's Wagyu, were not food. They were family. They were partners in the mud of the rice paddies, revered for their strength and endurance. Everything changed with the Meiji Restoration in the late 19th century. As Japan opened its doors to the West, the ban on meat was lifted. At first, Japan attempted to crossbreed its native stock with massive European breeds to increase size. But the pioneers of Japanese cattle farming noticed something extraordinary in the purebred Kuroge Washu, or Japanese black. They discovered a unique genetic mutation, the ability to store marbled fat inside the muscle fiber rather than around it. In 1944, this lineage was officially frozen in time. It was the birth of a living heritage, a century-long project of artificial evolution that turned a humble draft animal into a biological miracle of flavor. Why does genuine A5 Wagyu possess a texture that defies the laws of ordinary meat? The secret is hidden in the physics of its melting point. Standard beef fat melts at approximately 40 degrees Celsius, higher than the human body. This is why a typical steak requires significant effort to chew. However, the fat of a top-tier Wagyu cow is chemically distinct. It has a melting point as low as 25 to 27 degrees Celsius. This is made possible by an extraordinarily high concentration of monounsaturated fatty acids, specifically oleic acid, the same heart-healthy component found in premium olive oil. When a slice of Wagyu touches your tongue, it undergoes a literal phase transition. It shifts from a solid to a liquid in a matter of seconds. As it melts, it releases Wagyu-ko, the Wagyu beef aroma. This sweet, coconut-like fragrance triggers a deep sensory response in the human brain, a chemical euphoria that can only be achieved through a century of precise breeding. Every animal is tracked by a 10-digit ID, ensuring that this liquid gold remains consistent across generations. But as we look toward the horizon, the future of this diamond is shrouded in mist. The master farmers, the conductors of this silent symphony, are an aging generation. Their craft is not found in textbooks. It is a silent dialogue between man and beast. They understand, anshin, the total peace of mind required to prevent stress from hardening the fat. In the coming decades, we may see lab-grown Wagyu or high-tech mass production, but can a machine replicate the omotenashi, the spirit of hospitality that a farmer provides to a living being? We are at a crossroads. As the number of traditional farms dwindles, we are using AI to digitize their wisdom, their breeding data, and the very aesthetic of the Wagyu soul. We are preserving a legacy that was never meant to be industrial, ensuring that even if the physical world changes, the DNA of Japanese dedication remains etched in the digital archive. The slice of Wagyu you see before you is more than a meal. It is a time capsule. It contains 1,000 years of sacred history, a century of genetic obsession, and a message for a future where such craftsmanship may be rare. Every bite is Ichigo Ichi, one time, one meeting. A realization that this specific masterpiece will never exist exactly like this again. We record these images and these truths so that the soul of the edible diamond is never lost to the shadows of time. Thank you for visiting exhibit number 004. Subscribe to the AI Preserved Japan and step into the archive with us. We will be waiting in the silence. Until next time.